Palpatine, what are we gonna do with all these old coffee beans?
Stop Anakin, make me cry.
But Palpatine, what are we gonna do with all this old meat? Stew it.
Oh my god. I hate you.
I'm done now.
Okay, alright.
Okay.
You sure?
Alright.
But what about Palpatine? What about Chipmunks? What about Chipmunks 3-0? Blew it.
Okay. Alright, that one has to be in there. That has to be the intro. There's no way. What's up, guys? It's your boy Skeezes. Welcome to Nemesis Gaming League. We are back for some more Nemesis Gaming League action with our weekly weekend review video. I am joined by Magma, the best trucker hat main.
Sir.
Chipmunk, who is 0-4, the arguably the worst player on Vortex.
Yeah, no.
And Cooking Bagels, resident bagel boy, cooks his bagels.
Hello.
Okay, so we will get this underway, starting with the Prospect League. All right, so we're gonna start with Monday, and there are a few action-packed games coming out from Prospect. I'll just leave it up to Chipmunk here. You can talk about it.
Yeah, so basically on Monday we had some really good games. We had one on stream, which was Faded and Velocity. Faded ended up winning 3-2 on stream, and looking a bit more into that match, it was kind of KN being a really good playmaker for that team. He was on top of the leaderboard most of those games. And also looking at Monday, we had Aurora squeaking out a win over the Wyverns, and Melons 3-1ing the Rooks. So it's pretty basic games there. It was kind of expected for Melons to 3-1 the Rooks because it's, Melons and Smiley, the absolute smurf. So also we have the Vipers and versus Origin. Vipers got their first win of the season over Origin. It was a 3-0. Vipers were just bouncing back off of a 2-loss week, and the final game was Tora. Just got an FF win over Ember, so unfortunate there for Ember.
Yeah, for sure. And as we go over to Wednesday, a lot of the matches were definitely way closer than Monday. I see a few games that were within one, but I'll let Magma touch on it a little bit more.
Yeah, Wednesday was a really good day in the Prospect League. Lots of good matches overall. One of my favorite matches were Faded versus Rooks. It was just a really back and forth match on stream. It was really just entertaining to watch. And yeah, it was just overall really good storyline. The reverse sweep by Faded was nutty to say the least. And then yeah, it was just overall probably one of my favorite Prospect games I've ever seen. But yeah, no, on top of that on Wednesday, squeaked out a win 3-2 over Origins. Melons were able to take down Vipers on stream 3-1. Velocity was able to tackle Ember 3-1, and then Wyverns got a forfeit over Tora.
It was definitely more exciting games. Having 2 stream matches, that's probably going to be a first, I'd say. But moving on to the player of the week, we have for Prospect real smiley, and I'll let Bagels take it over from here.
Yeah, so it was kind of a close voting, I think, between some of the Faded players and the Melons players, because both those teams are now 4-0. So they're the only undefeated teams left in the Prospect League. And it could have been someone from Faded, but ultimately it was Smiley, who a lot of people were calling out in chat because he might have been smurfing a little bit, but we don't know. Maybe he's just really good. But either way, he was looking really good and all over the field.
Yeah, I could get underneath that, but next we'll just I guess we'll walk right into Challenger then. Okay, so we got Challenger League, and a few games were like, I would say they weren't as close compared to the Prospect series, but there are a few interesting ones. I'll just hand it over to Chipmunk then.
Yeah, for Monday Prospect League, we wasn't really any close games. I think they're basically all 3-1s except for one 3-0. And that was Flame 3-0 over Spectre. There's not really much to say there, but every other series was a 3-1. And we had one game on stream, which was Samurai and Bishops. And Samurai pretty much dominated the entire time except for that other game. But Samurai pretty much dominated, and there wasn't really a standout player. I think they all just played really well with each other and ended up taking the series there. And also there was a Ascension FF win over Venom, which I don't want to talk about because I'm the Venom GM, so it's not going to happen.
Yeah, I'm kind of surprised about that Flame sweep over Spectre, though, as Spectre was sort of higher up on the power rankings last week. But for Wednesday, we had a little more of a scuff between the two teams in all the series. But Magma, you got anything to say about that?
Yeah, Wednesday was kind of all around day. We had literally every possible match outcome happen on Wednesday. Drake's 3-0 Spectre. Samurai barely beat Venom 3-2. Motion beat Flame 3-1, and then Dissolved wins against the Bishops through forfeit.
It was pretty much just probably most interesting week we'll come across in the context of how the series played out. But onto the player of the week, we have Bagels talking about Chimkin, or newly found as Case 35.
Yeah, so our boy Chimpkin up in here, he was just kind of doing what he needed to do. Not too much, but not too little. Or actually, I take it back. He did do a lot. He only played. This was his stats before the Saturday night game. He had 2.25 goals per game. So, and he had quite a bit of saves, and his shooting percentage was 70%. So, Chimpkin, he was the guy.
Yeah, definitely a standout in Challenger League. That 70% is just crazy. And an unexpected guest has joined in Kiwi, and we're gonna have a quick interview. So I'll take it right over to you, Bagels.
So welcome, Kiwi. How you doing?
Doing well. Hope y'all are doing just as well.
Doing good. So it was kind of a bit of a stomping you put on good old Ascension there. Some of the matches were a little close, and I think there was a few 1-goal games. But what was it about Ascension that you were able to kind of take advantage of them?
I think pretty early on into the first game, we read how they were trying to play, how their defense and how to essentially break it down and what we needed to do. And we tried to capitalize on the fact that I think we were playing a little bit faster than what they were. And try to capitalize on just keeping control of the pace of the game. And I think that ultimately led to some of the goals that we got. We just very quick opportunities, quick windows, able to capitalize on those a lot better than I think Ascension did. they had some solid opportunities when, we kind of messed up our defense a little bit, but I think the main difference that we came out on top was that, we capitalized on the openings, whether it was a double commit, whether it was an awkward touch, an awkward redirect, or, a bump demo, or just a better shot in general. And I think because we were able to just slightly fine tune and capitalize those things, we came out on top for a 3-0 sweep.
Yeah, I think as you mentioned those awkward situations, I think there was 1 or 2 own goals that came in from Ascension, so definitely you guys had that pressure to put them in those awkward situations. So now Chimkin got our Player of the Week for Challenger. How do you feel about Chimkin? Like, is he that offensive guy on your team, or did he just have a really good week?
No, Chimkin, for Chimkin Player of the Week, well deserved, without a doubt. On Monday, I mean, I'm pretty sure that the man averaged, I think, maybe 500, if not 530 points a game, and that carried throughout the entire week. And he's kind of been not our MVP star per se, but he's definitely the guy that I think creates the most opportunities for us, but then as well as is a reliable third man when he's in that position. And I think because that he makes good decisions, when to clear, when to control, and he's really good at just creating those counterattack or those defensive opportunities to give us possession and make something out of it. And with that, just him being able to do that has allowed myself and not to really play our game, and then either we're feeding him the ball or he's feeding us the ball, and it's just it works out really well for us. Definitely well deserved him Player of the Week. Even in the one game where he was at the bottom tier, I think that was the third game or the second game, when he was at the bottom leaderboard, I mean, you still saw the results, Not myself up there up top, 2 goals each in that game. And it was, just all around just a great team. But definitely well-deserved Player of the Week for Chimkin.
Yeah, and as you mentioned, he not only had 500 plus score average, he had 661 score average for that Monday game.
There you go. I'm underselling the man.
With a 2.25 goal for average on Monday as well. And so, final question.
Sounds about right.
You guys are 3-1 on the season now, correct?
Yes, 3-1. That is correct.
So, how do you feel now that we've week 2 is complete? How do you feel you stack up? Are there any teams that you're looking out for? Any teams that you haven't played that you want to play?
We don't really look too much into the teams that we're playing, and I know that sounds kind of weird, from a strategy point of view, what teams should we look out for, what teams should we take an easy win from, but we feel that kind of puts us in a neutral area to just review our games, look at what we can do better, and no matter what team we face, we take that mentality of growing and becoming a better team. And I mean, as long as we make the smart decisions, on the pitch, whether it's on defense, offense, or even in the midfield control, we focus on our game, improve our game, and then, like I said, just create the opportunities that we can create. I mean, I don't think it matters what team we're going to play. We're going to come out on top. So for us, I mean, we don't really have any specific team we're headhunting, or we don't really worry about. It's just kind of not really going blind, but with the same attitude of let's play our game, within the first, hopefully 2 minutes, read what the opposite team is doing, and then adjust and then take control of the pace of the game from there.
Yeah, I think that's a good way to look at it. As long as you play your game, you won't have to worry about what they're doing. But once again, I just wanted to thank you for joining us. Sorry for the late interview.
Oh, that's all right. I'm usually up late anyway.
And have a good one, man.
All right, appreciate it. Y'all do the same.
All right, and now we're just going to move on over to Rival here. All right, starting with Chipmunk, once again, we have a few series that were actually they all played out pretty similar, but I'll let you take it over from here.
Yeah, we had a pretty diverse day with we had a 3-2, 3-0, and 3-3-1. So all pretty much not really the same, but all pretty much different scores. So Blaze 3-0'd Parallax. Not really much of a surprise there. Galaxy 3-2'd Hydra, so basically Magma sucks.
Yes, sir.
And Distortion 3-1 Lightspeed. Another, not really much surprise there because, Distortion was really low rated starting off the season, but they really showed themselves to be a contending team. And Knights 3-1 Kings. Another not really much surprise. And Arrival 3-1 Vortex. A major surprise. Everyone thought Vortex was going to be the best team in the league. So definitely a major surprise.
I don't know.
They still
know
are.
about that.
They still are. They're still the best team in the league.
Okay. All right. Got your word.
0-4.
No bias.
Talker,
No
man,
bias
we trust.
whatsoever. Yeah. No bias whatsoever.
No bias, dude. No bias.
Jokes aside, anyway, couldn't help but notice that was actually the first day where we didn't have a forfeit. So,
Hey,
I guess
Good job.
that's a pretty good accomplishment. Not gonna lie.
That's a pretty good accomplishment.
Yeah.
Round of applause.
Yeah.
pretty good job.
All right.
All right. As we move into Wednesday here with Magma, we have once again another day without a forfeit. So, how'd they all go, Magma?
Well, for the most part, Wednesday went as expected, besides one game. Blaze obviously beat Lightspeed 3-1. Parallax reverse swept Hydra. It was kind of a shame to watch that match go down. Galaxy 3-1 to Rival on stream. That everyone expected. Actually, everyone knew that would kind of happen. And Knights 3-1 Vortex. Vortex fall 0-4. Once again, no surprise.
I think there was a major surprise there, as Vortex definitely the best team in the league. So I don't know what you're talking about.
I
Can we
don't
also
even
say
know.
we didn't watch that reverse sweep. You lived it.
No, I watched it. I didn't play.
Wait, what?
He was
I benched myself.
he was washed, man. He came back after a
The
break.
1,600 player benched himself.
Yep.
Yeah, and sometimes you gotta do it for the team.
Big sandbagger. Benching and stuff. But yeah, man. Vortex, whew, we're hoping to see a win come out of them soon enough.
I don't know if
Yeah.
they really have many games even under their belt. I think some teams might have more matches
We haven't
won
gotten
than
no.
they have games won.
No, that's just false information. That's just false.
I think
For
you
your
might be right.
information, we've never gotten swept.
Never gotten swept, but I think you've only won like 4 matches.
No,
Okay, so it's a neutral
we've won
record
5.
between losses and.
we've won 5. I think 6.
They won 5, guys. You heard it here first.
Oh,
they
dude,
won 5.
so there's no way anyone has any more match wins than game wins. Than
No,
us.
but you're cutting it a little close, aren't you?
Just a little bit.
Just a little bit.
Just a
So
little
basically, what you're saying is that even if you took all those wins and piled them up into 2 separate series, you wouldn't even walk away with 2 wins. Congrats. All right.
I think
as
we have
move on
6,
to,
okay?
no, and still not good. Still bad. Gonna be the worst team. But player of the week, we have Bagels, and I'll let you talk a little bit about Vokes.
Yeah, so we had Vokes on Distortion, who had a solid Monday performance, and then he was on our Saturday night Rocket League matchup against the Kings, where he was able to 3-0 sweep them. And I'm not necessarily sure he pulled out insane stats, but it just felt like he was on every ball, making the 50s, making the setups for his teammates, and that's why we ended up picking him.
Definitely the guy to look at on Distortion, but we're just gonna keep moving it along, and I guess we'll start to wrap it up with Titan League. All right, so first we got Chipmunk taking over Monday night for Titan League, and You want to touch on anything with any of the teams, including the stream match between Grandmasters and Pinnacle?
Yeah, definitely. Grandmasters and Pinnacle. That was a great match. That was just a Game 5, great match. That was a really good match to watch. I was actually casting that one, so I can actually talk a lot about that one because it was mainly just Grandmasters just having a ton of pressure, and Pinnacle really stepped it up in games 3 and 4, trying to get the reverse sweep, and they ended up winning those two, and took it to a Game 5. But Grandmasters were just still too much for them, and that was just a great game. And Inferno 3-1 over Venganza. That was a difficult situation. There was just stuff going on, and it was actually like 2-1 in the series, and then stuff happened, and then the match ended up being classified as like a 3-1. So stuff happens, and Inferno takes the winner of Venganza. Nebula 3-0 Dragons. Nebula's just doing really good so far. And Gravity 3-0 Heatwave, and that's definitely surprising. Gravity coming back after being swept a couple times, and with a new player as well. So Gravity coming back and sweeping.
Yeah, Grandmasters and Nebula definitely off to a really hot start here. Starting off with Titan League and Gravity making a power play, dropping one player and picking up another. It seems like it's working out pretty well for them so far. But
Was
we'll
it
move
really a
into...
power play if it was Julian?
I mean, how is there a higher standard than power play that we could say insane play? I mean, you did drop a.
I call it an
Six-man
S
main.
plus tier roster move.
Yeah. That's fair. That's fair. But anyways, Magma here to talk about Wednesday night.
Yeah, no games.
All right, Bagels, you want to talk about the player of the week for Titan?
No games. Yeah, so for the Titan League Player of the Week, it was actually Tyler in that unfortunate Venganza matchup, who had a 1 goal per game and over 500 points per game. And we were actually considering the man himself, Skeezus here, who somehow managed to get almost 600 points a game but not score a single goal in the series. Rather unfortunate there. Also, it could have been me, but didn't pull off the reverse sweep. So my team's been reverse swept and could not pull off the reverse sweep. And I've yet to get a player of the week. So I'm kind of hungry for one, you know.
Maybe there's just a reason you haven't.
Hey.
I mean, who else here has gone player of the week besides me, guys?
Wait, what? you're talking about
Okay,
season
that was
one.
last season.
Yeah, that doesn't
last-
count. That does not count.
Challenger week 1, player of the week.
That
Do
does
we
not
need?
count.
Do I need a player of the week when I'm a season 1 champion?
Season 1
Yeah.
runner
Hey,
up.
let me just
10
tell
times
you.
better color.
Let me just tell you, my team was really mad when you got player of the week because they thought you were trash.
Yeah, well, it's because I literally did everything against you guys that game.
No, I
I scored
feel
all the goals.
like Ori was talking about. He was like he didn't even think that you were that bad of a player. Just the
Yeah.
fact your hat, just your hat.
Yeah, that
it made
that'll
him so
do it.
mad.
I was gonna say, because honestly, I'm pretty confident I'm better than everyone on Vortex.
Oh, okay.
Like-
Okay.
Okay, all right. We'll save this for another time.
Everybody calm
Anyway.
down.
I think we can just go at it right now.
Okay, no.
All I gotta say has mid playoffs.
Next week in review, it's happening. It's going down.
Next
all right.
time on week
Anyway,
review.
all right.
We're gonna need that Hydra versus Vortex rematch on stream.
Rematch. We haven't gone to win against them yet.
Well, Magma versus Vortex. It's all right. Magma versus Vortex from last season. Okay, rematch. All right, whatever. All right, Tyler taking player of the week. Definitely a little bit of scuffed game against Venganza. A little bit of a stat pad in that 4th game after an unfortunate DC, but just saying, probably could have got it if we actually could have contended with them. But
I think it's
7th
karma
place.
from last season when I DC'd. And
Yeah,
Venganza
dude.
clapped us.
It
I
it happens.
It's in the cards. It's in the cards.
It happens. It happens.
it's in the
It
script.
does. All right. Anyway, moving along, we will redirect our conversation right over to Saturday night. So a little bit more. Let's talk about that. All right, skipping Saturday night. We already touched on it enough. We're gonna go straight into next week. We'll talk about Monday. Bagels, you got anything to say about Monday?
Yeah, so for Monday, we're going to have Blaze versus Vortex for our first matchup. And then we're going to have something in between we don't quite know yet. Then Bishops versus the Drags at 9:30 p.m. EDT. Now Blaze, they're coming in. They're coming in hot. If I do say so myself. 4-0 versus Vortex, our resident chipmunk man, with 0-4. My lord. And for the Bishops versus Drakes, very middle of the pack. Both maybe 2-2. I'm not quite sure. But those are going to be Monday's games. Very hot, not so hot, and somewhere in the middle. Thank you for watching week 2 in review. Make sure to check back next week for week 3.
Okay, just gonna do it again.